Hello guys, welcome to the Frontend Spark, and today we're going to discuss about CSS selectors. So there are several selectors out there, but we are going to discuss few of the selector. What is selector? Selector is a process of selecting elements and we can apply styles on them and along with their specificity. What is specificity? Specificity is an algorithm used by browser to determine which CSS declaration is more relevant to that particular element. If there are two or more CSS declaration with a different property for the same element, then how can browser will understand that which will be more relevant to that particular element? So for that, the browser will uh, apply the style of the selector with the highest specificity score. So how can we determine the specificity score? For the inline styles, the specificity score is 1000. For ID selector, the specificity score is 0100. Then for the class selector, the specificity score is 0010. Then for the elements, it's like 0001. That means for the inline styles, it has the more priority. Then the ID, then the class, then the elements. So we can see all these steps when we'll just write some example, then you can understand. So I just created one HTML page where I've just written this parent. Then under this parent, there are the two child, child one, child two, child three, child four. Sorry, and for the child one, it has the two more childs like child one, child one, two. So in that way, I just written the HTML page in the CSS. This is the simple element as a selector I have used, and I am just providing the color, and this is the font. This is the properties, the CSS properties I've been used, the color and the font size. So what is element selector? The element selector means we can select the element, start styling on them. So I have used this div in this HTML page, right? I have used the div in this HTML page and I want to apply the CSS on this div. So I just given the div as an element selector, then I just providing the color. So you can see that all these elements, div elements, the colors has been changed to orange, right? So that is the element selector. ID selector means it starts with the as, and ID can be used only one per page. This is the ID child one, and so I'll just write some example for the ID selector. So ID selector will start with the has, then we'll give the ID name, then we can provide something like, okay, we'll provide the color for the child one, means this child one. Okay, I want to give something child one color like green. Okay, see the child one, this is the selector one, means the child one, right? This is the selector one, means child one. So child one, I have given the color is green, so that's why it has been changed to green. Okay, the same like, see, if I'll give the child to the color, see, if I'll give something deep pink, see, the selectors too also has been changed to deep pink. Suppose the class selector, a HTML element can have one or more items with the class name, and we can apply those style changes on those elements. Like, so for the class selector, you have to start with dot dot. Then if I'll give some name like, okay, child one class. Okay, now I'm giving something, what, yeah, the light sky blue. And if I'm just provide this instead of this ID, uh, I'm just removing the ID right now. I'm giving the class, then I'm providing the class name child one class. So you can change this color of this child one class. So now it has been changed to light sky blue. In the same way, we can write, you know, the different class name also. Or if I want to use this same class name with different div also, that also fine, right? In here also, if I'll give something, uh, the class name, you can see here what is happening. Okay, I have given the ID, that's why it's not changing. I have to give the class. here, then see what will happen. See, the class name has been changed. To check the specificity, we can just write this ID also here, and you can check which style has been applied to this selector one. Okay. See, the ID has the more preference than the class because the specificity score of the ID is more than this class. That's why this element has take the ID changes only. The ID, see, the color is green. That's why the color has been changed to green. Okay. See, if I write this thing also in here, let's see, same thing, right? Now I'll do some inline style changes, right? Sorry, style, then color, then I'm giving something brown. Let's see. See, it has been changed to brown. So that means it will give the priority the inline, then the ID, then the class. Okay. Then the element selector, which has been like green. So we understood the specificity how it works. Okay. Now I'm removing this class and this stuff. So right now, okay. So now we'll discuss about the attribute selector. So the attribute selector matches the element based on the element having a given attribute. Okay. Then href, I'm giving https dot dot google.com. Okay. Now let's see. I have to give some name here. Google. Click. See, okay. It has the attribute of href. So now we can do these changes in the CSS for the attribute selector like A. And I'll just do one thing. I'll just create another one where I'll give something click Google one, and I give the title here. Okay, the title I'm giving. See, this is the attribute. That's why this the property is coming here. Uh, Title I'm giving here as Google. Okay. So like what I'm doing for the attribute selector. So I'm just selecting the anchor tag. Then I'm providing the value like a title. If anchor tag has the attribute of uh, title, then then just simply do the stuff like do the color change to black. So you can see the click Google one color has been changed because I have provided title here. Now, see if I'll do some changes also like if the title value is Google. Now if I'll give the title also here uh, something uh, Google one or like Google here and Google one here. So you can see the anchor tag, the link color has been changed because they have the title. Now if I'll see if the title is only Google, then what will happen? See, if the title is like I just did some spelling mistake, like Google, then the color has been changed to black. So this is has been changed to black because it's matching this title. So in that way, we can use the attribute selector. So now we'll discuss about the universal selector. Universal selector is defined by the asterisk, and we can apply these changes, style changes to any elements of any type basically. Suppose if I'll use some asterisk, then if I'll give some margin here. The margin and all the stuff we'll discuss in the next session, that will be discussed through the box model. Okay. Suppose if I'll give some 200 pixel, the 20 pixel, then you can see the whole thing has changed to the 20 pixel from the margin side, right? So that's how the universal selector works. So now we'll discuss about the pseudo selector. The pseudo selectors are for selecting the pseudo elements. What is the pseudo elements? We used like for uh, the colon to the signify the pseudo elements. The pseudo elements is like adding or targeting an extra element without having to add more HTML. Like suppose if I want to add something after child 1 1, then what else? The child one, right? So now child 1 1, then this after. If I want to add something, this like okay, color be something green yellow. You can see uh, child 1 1 orange pseudo elements. It has been used gray yellow. That's the things. Content like I'll give something test. So basically if I add test like content here, okay, like this test, remove these things. See, the test has been added with this color green yellow after this child one. Child one means this is the child one, and inside that we have this child one and child one two. So we can add like this. So that is like a pseudo selector. So now we'll discuss about the nesting selector. The nesting selector means like we start with the parent rule set, then we can embed the descendant rule set, just like child one. Okay, inside that only the child two. Like suppose if I'll write right. So like what about the child one is there inside all the div elements? I want to change the font size should be little bit big, like 40 pixel. See, only the child one and child one two has been changed because that is the nested selector. I just selected div element inside the child one. So now we'll discuss about the combinator selector. So that means like we can use the multiple class. This name right in here. This is the child class one. If I'll give like a child class, sorry, child class two. Here if I'll give like this two, then what I can do here, child class one. We will give selector here like a class, then two, like no, sorry, uh, here I'm giving two. Okay, I'm sorry, I have to give this dot. Then I can see that how can we use the combinator selector with the, you can use with the comma for the class name, and you can apply the same style changes for these class names. So now you can discuss about the adjacent selector. Adjacent selector means like select an element that is direct sibling to the to a first element. Okay, means if I select an element like selector one, okay, then you can see like what will happen. Selector one means it's a child one. So child one, if I give here like child one, then I'm giving like a adjacent means I have to use the plus sign. Then I'm giving div. Then I'm saying to change the color to something dark green. This is the first element of the sibling of selector one. Okay, so that is the basically it's being called adjacent. So this selector two is adjacent to the selector one. That's why the color has been changed to green. So now so we can discuss about the general sibling selector, that is like we can use the tilde sign to select the elements that is preceded by the first element. Means this is the first element, selector one. So like whatever the preceded element like selector two, three, four, this color will be changed if I use the tilde sign. See, okay, I'll give some different color, then you can understand. Dark khaki. So the color has been changed to khaki. Selected 2, selected 3, selected 4. At the example where you can understand how the selector works, the first 2 3 is very much important, like class, ID, element, then the pseudo and the nested, and that's all from the selector side. Thank you for watching the video. We'll meet you in the next session.